Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your entrepreneur, and this will probably be a long video, giving you a heads up. I wasn't going to comment on originally, but the more this article gets shared, the more I feel like I kind of need to. It was an article that the New York Times did called "How Uber Uses Psychological Tricks to Push Its Drivers' Buttons." And I'm not going to read portions of the article. I'm just not. I'm going to link to the article below because I think it is worth reading. It's an interesting read, but the reason I'm not going to read from it is because I think if you do drive Uber, none of this is exactly news. We know that Uber tries to psychologically push us into working more hours and stuff without actually raising rates or giving a tip option. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen one of those screenshots where it's like, hey, you're only like $10 away from, $50. You're only $4 away from $100. They always push like, don't you want to make that little extra money? That's one of the tricks they use. Another trick they use, those badges. Those badges that, it's like, oh, entertaining driver, great conversationalist. I have like 47 badges, like, what do you do? But it's kind of a way like, oh, you see, you're doing a good job. Keep doing a good job. We like you. They like you. Even though then they have like right underneath it like three things where it's like, things that complain about your braking and customer complaints just to stress you out. And of course they have that star grading. Actually, I now that this article came out, it wasn't mentioned, but I think that new feedback aggregator is probably part of it. Instead of going from 500 to 100, the star grading changes much more rapidly and much more drastically. So if you see your star grade going low, it's almost like a psychological encouragement to keep driving and to, get some good customers to get that thing back up. So Uber does play the tricks. They play with this, and boost zones and bonuses. I mean, yes, they did it because they were losing way too many drivers and customers to Lyft, and they had to do something. But it also works. It's like, hey, we need you to work these hours, and we'll do it. I mean, one of the recent things they have that definitely kind of worked for me, honestly, is that they've been doing like a $40 bonus if you drive between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. and you do 15 trips Monday through Friday between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And I do it because that's a very, very easy goal to get. And, it's usually surging at that time where I live, so why not? But Uber does play these tricks. Now, people keep asking, is this ethical for Uber to do? That's a loaded question, guys. Uber's a company. They're trying to make money. And here's the thing. If anything, this actually does lead credence, if just a little bit, that basically the drivers do control Uber's future way more than they want to admit, because if Uber doesn't do something to try to get us out there and encourage us to go out there, they don't have a business. They don't have people getting picked up, and so they will use these tactics to try to get us out there. Now, you can choose whether or not those tactics are beneficial to you or not. I personally think that they're not, unless they're making you more money. So every time I log off and it says, hey, you're this far away from this much money, I ignore it because I don't care. The badges, don't care. A boost, you're getting closer. A boost with a bonus, now we're talking. So, because that I can make money off of. Also, I want to add that the referral thing fits into this psychological warfare thing, because they're also trying to invest in the future drivers, because they're always preparing for the current set of drivers to quit within a few months, so they need more drivers. And it's like, hey, you can make money if you keep referring, and this saves Uber the effort of having to go out on the streets and recruit people themselves. But here's the thing about these psychological pushes. I mean, just as they can use it to manipulate you into going out, you can use it to manipulate them into doing what you want. I mean, and I've just explained how. I mean, like, for example, I don't get you're only $10 away from $100 notifications anymore, because with one or two rare exceptions, I always logged off, and after a while they realized this wasn't working for me. So I think they stopped doing it for me. However, They have noticed that I do drive a lot more during boost and bonus hours, so they make it a point to let me know when those are going on. Another little trick I noticed that they did is that whenever I'm passing by the airport, they're always saying, "Oh, go into the airport. There's only this many cars in the line." And the funny thing is, it always ranges from like 6 to 30, which is like there's only 29 cars in the queue, but it's like, well, I'm not gonna get into a queue with 29 cars in front of me. I'm just not. So and also the next ride thing where it like brings up the next ride automatically while you're on the current ride. I mean, on one hand, that is a little helpful. I'm not gonna lie. On the other hand, it is also deceptive because they're doing it, and the thing is, you can't see if there's like a surge around and whether or not it might be more beneficial to, wait for one of those. So Uber does play these tricks. I'm not sure if it's right. I'm not even sure if it's ethical. It's business. This is a business, folks. As much as I complain about Uber, as much as I can give you advice on how to make money, as much as I gripe about all the changes they're making, they are a business and they are going to do what they can to make money. But you know what? So can we. We don't have to play along with these games, especially now that we know what they are. And I think most of us saw these for what they were long before the New York Times picked up on it. I mean, print media, I hate to say it, they're kind of slow about these things. They don't realize this has been going on for a long time. And, I mean, I'm still waiting for them to start doing weekly features on how the drivers are just not getting paid very well. I mean, even Uber, man, he did a video on San Francisco, and I don't know what he gets paid where he lives, but he took a couple Ubers, and he was kind of like, yikes, $3 base fare? How do you guys make money? And it's like, well, you have to be very, very, very smart about it. That's what you got to do. So, yeah, I think the article is interesting. I think it's worth reading. It's not necessarily surprising. Maybe for some of you it will be. I don't know. It wasn't surprising to me. But here's the thing. Uber will use the psychological tricks to try to get you to drive. The trick is to figure out which times they will truly benefit you and which times they will only benefit Uber. And by the way, here's something that they're doing that I would definitely recommend you ignore. They will keep saying, you're just a few minutes away from being eligible for delivery on Uber. Never do it. Never do it. You do not want to deliver for Uber Eats. Trust me on this. So anyway, that's my comments on that article. You can read the article below, and you can also comment below, and you can like, favorite, share, subscribe. And also, I did something I didn't think I would do. I opened a Twitch account. And I know this isn't a gaming channel, but maybe some of you would like to do like a live Let's Play or something, and you can ask questions. I don't know. Thinking of a new way to interact with the audience. Right now I'm using it to make Let's Play videos for my other channel that, is a little bit less serious than this one, I would say. So, I don't know. Just a thought out there. You guys can tell me what you think about that below as well. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.